Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining today is your city administrator, Chad Brecklin. Chad, welcome back to the show. How are you doing today?
I'm good, Jeremy. How's your new year starting off?
Well, as we're going to get into discussions, it's been snowy and it's been wet. And, you know, I guess we got winter like all at once this year. So, yay.
We did, yeah. It seemed like we had a nice mild winter, at least nice and mild from my perspective. I don't want to speak for everyone here. Some winter lovers may be out there, but yeah, we definitely got a lot of snow in a couple of different events, and then some really cold weather, and that created some challenges for our public works teams, as well as our public safety teams to a certain extent as well. And as usual, both teams handled the situation extremely well, providing services to our community, and in particular, our public works team. You know, that's a challenging scenario when you have those big snowfalls, multiple events in a week. Many of them had worked 14, 15-hour days, multiple days in a week, and then that cold weather sets in and it renders any of those treatment materials like salt completely ineffective. So it was a challenging situation. They got out there with some road graders in certain areas trying to scrape the ice down even further, and we're putting a ton of sand down to help provide some traction. And ultimately, again, it was a bit of a challenge. They rose to it as always. I know that our motorists needed to take some extra time and have some patience. And we do appreciate their willingness to have some patience.
Yeah, we, Fact TV rode along both, excuse me, and Public Works, the Parks Department and Public Works does all the plowing. It's an incredible amount of work mentally to be driving through snowstorms and plowing and getting the job done, but then to keep going over and over and over, like like I said, hit at once. 2 big snowstorms hitting in the same week. Yep. It's a big burden, so you know, I think appreciate everybody's patience during all of this because it was everywhere in southern Wisconsin, so it's been quite the mess. But then it's so sad when it gets so warm and you're like, all that effort to get that stuff off the road, and then the temperatures like cut it loose. You're like, oh man, but the way it goes. I would remind people though, fire hydrants too.
Yeah,
we've been promoting that. There was a fire recently, and I was talking with the fire department on it, on cleaning it out. And there's been a few responses where they've been shoveling out fire hydrants before hooking hydrants up for water usage. So if you haven't done so, do that too, because that just helps everybody in the process.
Absolutely, and I will add to that, if there are any storm drains in front of your people's residences, if they could maybe take a look at those and make sure that the snow and ice is not covering those in the curb and gutter area. That would be helpful as well as we continue to melt some snow and have some rain coming in, it looks like.
Yeah, no, it's been something. We'll see where the where the rest of winter is going to be, or if it's just going to be back to what it was in November and December. So we'll keep an eye out for that. Other than snow plowing operations, street traffic. So we'll stay with the streets theme here. Traffic signals at Sain Road in East Sherrill, Lacey. All of that going to be flipped on?
It sounds like it, yep. After a long wait there, and we again appreciate our public's patience with that whole process. There have been 4-way stop signs up at both of those intersections since the road construction or reconstruction concluded, and the traffic signals have been sitting there waiting to go live, and we finally had gotten some work completed by one of our subcontractors. And I'm pleased to report on the 26th of January, those signals are going to begin flashing at both of those intersections. And if I recall correctly, the following Tuesday,
the 30th, yes.
The 30th, they will actually become fully operational with the red, yellow, green.
Yeah, no, it's going to be nice to have that in place, and yeah, just it's been time, and there'll be work. The work picks back up again on there. We'll have updates for you on that, but we'll remind you of that here on the show as that continues. Update on referendum. Hard change here. It's a referendum you just presented at the committee of the whole, but where are we at in the process, and what will we be hearing here moving forward?
Yeah, so we've been talking about referendum with the City Council at their request since last summer. I think June was the first meeting that we started really beginning to talk about the potential for a referendum here in 2024. And right now, the council is continuing to give strong indications that they are wanting to consider a referendum to be placed on the August 13th ballot. But we did do a presentation again last night, as you'd mentioned, in the Committee of the Whole, and we continue to talk about potential examples of funding requests and what those examples mean to the average assessed tax single-family residents at $381,000. So we've been looking at a variety of different dollar amounts as it relates to either a monthly impact or annual impact, and a total amount that would be available to increase our levy due to our continued constraints due to the levy limit laws that the state has. And we're really looking at three different buckets of things that could potentially be included in a referendum, that being staffing, that being an enhanced transit, and the other thing is with the new police services facility, the operating costs associated with staffing and maintaining and operating that facility. So the next steps in the process are, as we are working with a communications consultant and a community survey consultant, and we're working to finalize a product that outlines, the staffing needs and other needs throughout the city that would be available for residents or other interested parties to take a look at, review, read, and educate themselves as to why there may be a referendum forthcoming. And we're in the process of developing a survey that will be sent to all residential addresses in the city towards the end of February, targeting right now the week of February 26th, where that survey would arrive in mailboxes, and then there would be about a 2 to 3 week window where those surveys could be returned either electronically or in paper. And we really, really are looking for feedback from our community members. We want to know what your priorities are. We want to know if there was a referendum that was moved forward by the Common Council, what sorts of things would they support in that referendum or be likely to support or would not be likely to support for that matter, to really help provide guidance to both the Common Council and staff on a direction that could be undertaken on the referendum. So again, opportunities for input coming up here in the very near future. Really looking forward to seeing what that input looks like. And in fact, we anticipate that the preliminary survey results will be discussed at the Committee of the Whole in March, which has been rescheduled to March 20th, which is different from usual, but those results could be very informative.
Yeah, and then after you do get the results, council, you'll present obviously, and then council decides what goes on the ballot.
Yep. We'll be looking at the April Committee of the Whole, which I believe is the 24th, for continued discussion on the referendum. And at that meeting, it would be likely that the council will identify whether or not they intend to put a referendum question on an upcoming council meeting agenda. And if they do, then we'll be looking at ideally a vote on either May 14th or May 28th. And then that vote would be on a resolution to place a referendum question on the ballot and also identify to the extent needed, what the dollar amount is and what would be funded with that dollar amount specifically.
Awesome. Well, we'll keep everybody up to date. Of course, you can watch the coverage of the meetings that Chad outlined here on our Gov channel F1, and you can catch those past meetings as well, available at the website. Finally, the Fitchburg Police Department is, as you had mentioned, the new police facilities still having some public outreach meetings. There's postcards that are being sent out to encourage people to come to the next two meetings. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so at a recent meeting of the Common Council, they had requested, or actually directed staff to put together a postcard regarding the proposed police services facility that's been under design and discussion for the last, going back the last 10 years, but obviously in earnest during 2023. Council wanted to ensure that our residents were aware of this proposed project, the scope of the project, and the estimated cost as it currently stands. And to also confirm that our residents were aware of a couple of meetings that had been scheduled, specifically February 6th from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at the Doxa Church, located in the Southdale neighborhood. And on February 8th, again from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at Leopold School on Post Road in the Leopold neighborhood. So it's a great opportunity for folks to come out and learn more about that proposed project. There's also a QR code on the postcard that would allow anybody with a smartphone to be able to go directly to the web page that's been created specifically for this project to learn more.
Yeah, and on that page, it has the breakdown of everything. It has the past meetings on there as well, and we'll be covering these meetings too, so people can watch them as we move forward. All right, well, we can't pick your brain anymore. We've run out of time, but we appreciate your time, and maybe we'll have to get you back in a few more, more than once a month. We might have to increase this, Chad.
Yeah, well, I was going to comment that you probably picked my brain completely empty there. Maybe not. Some may not feel there's much space up there to begin with. So.
Well, I would love to pick your brain on your outside football interest, but we'll save that for another day. Either way, appreciate your time, sir, and we'll catch up with you real soon.
Thank you.